What up YouTube? Welcome to my channel, I'm Adam. Today, in this episode, we're going to make a 2-inch or 50mm shotgun or blast pipe exhaust tip for the Hilux. So we're trying to make this like as low, the cost to be as low as possible. So what's happened is there's a chocolate factory in where I live that has just shut down. Basically there's a whole heap of stainless steel that was left over. I went to the local scrap guys and bought some. It was like $7 a kg where it's usually $30 a meter. So we'll be able to do this really cheap. So I'll show you as quick as I can how to do it. So let's go. So I've already pre-started making this exhaust pipe here. I'm going to use it, but I'll chop it off and I'll put a V-band on because I want to have that sort of like musket, like flared end on the exhaust system. But I also want to have the shotgun tips or the blast pipes on the back. I've always wanted them. I wanted them to sit in the middle, but anyways, I've already pre-cut this. This was already welded together like that. All I want to do though is bring the gap between these together, so I'm just going to have to like take some of that off and that on that side to bring the distance closer, and then we'll shape the pipe here. The alternative way of doing this is you could probably chop this in half and merge them together, and I think there'd be enough material on it. That would be one way. You could do it the long way, not the long way, having the longer piece of that, or you could cut these at 45 degrees to meet into the Y part. But today we're just going to do it like this with the 90-degree bends. So to start off, we will just roughly mark where we want this to sit. So I'm probably going to just trial this for now, take off this much, and I'll do the same on that side. You can get a ruler and mark it up if you want, but we're just going to do it by eye. And if you've never seen it before, this is pretty much how they do the teardrop style exhaust ends. They cut off one of those and it gives you that kind of like out, like that kind of look. So that's how you do a teardrop, is by cutting one of those. So just a quick look at that, that's where I chopped it. So if I do the opposite on this side, it'll bring it closer. So that's about there at the moment. And once it's chopped in, I think that'll be about the right height. I mean, the right width. So I can see here that I just need to take a little bit more off on the front here, because when I put this up close, it basically bends the pipe that way. So I want it to come back this way. So I'll just take a little tiny piece off the top there. I must have cut the pipe crooked. And once I've got that, it should be at the width I desire, which is probably around there somewhere, which is not too bad. So we'll just fix that up and then we'll move on to the next step. So to get the surface flat and nice for welding, and to also adjust this so that the pipes are parallel, I'm going to use a Linisher to fix that up. So here we go. Cool, so I've got it all sanded up, linished up on the Linisher. This is the width I want it, so that's how we're going to sit it. I've got some stainless steel, this rod to mount to this as well, so that you can create a hanger so that it hangs off the back. I don't have a V-band yet, but I'll get one as soon as I can, and then we will bolt it up. So the next phase is we're just pretty much going to clean them up and get them ready to weld. So it's the most ideal thing is to basically keep the gaps as small as you can and then keep the material as clean as you can. It makes for a better, stronger weld and you won't have any problems down the track. So like you keep the gaps as small as you can, and yeah, it'll just make it a lot easier for you. You don't have to put as much filler wire in there, and you can almost just fusion weld it. So we'll just shape this now and then we'll weld those together. And preparation is key, so we might as well just file out all of the pipes. So now that we've filed out all of the the insides of the pipes, we can now use a Scotchbrite to prep them to be welded. So we just get like a bit of Scotchbrite and you can twist it, or you can go backwards and forwards. Do the outside and the inside of the tube so that you can get a good weld. It makes so much of a difference if you get this right. And then on the inside as well. It's a little bit extra work, but some good light. It doesn't really show it, but it does make a difference if you clean the insides of the tubes on the welds. You get that weld porn kind of look if you prep it really good. So we'll just wipe everything down with some acetone, even the filler rods as well. If you want to get that really good quality weld going, this is the secret right here. Good preparation. So outside and in, remember, you've got to clean all surfaces. So what we'll do first is we will put a couple of tack welds on there, and once those are in place, then we'll continue welding it. So yeah, there we go, we just got a close-up of those. So I'll get the purging set up and that'll be the next step of this. So we've got some of this reflective tape. We're just going to tape it on the end, and then I've got a back purging argon bottle hooked up so we can do welding now. So it's just taped over the end. There's a little hole to let any excess argon out. That's set on 5 litres per minute. I'll just weld up the top here just to hold it together, and then I'll run welds on the back side and this side as well. In order to get into the deep down in there, you have to extend the tungsten tip from the TIG welder quite a way out, so we'll do this now. So all you do is you unscrew the cap and you pull it out enough that it'll basically get into those hard to reach places, and then you can check it in here to make sure that it's gonna do it. So the tungsten's out quite a bit. And to get right into the very end of it, we might need to extend it out just a little bit more. You can bump up the argon pressure to get it if you want to. So there's 2 ways you could do this. You could either cut it straight across there, or you could put a bit of a cutout, make a bit of a V, so that it makes a nice little wee V. But in this one, because I've welded the top, welded there and left the top, all I'm going to do is basically just put it in the bandsaw and just cut straight across and then weld that on. So all we're going to do is just line the blade up. We'll probably just cut it a little bit shorter and then we'll just cut it off. So I just cut it again. You might not see it on screen, but it's a better fit up now. So I'm just going to prep this again so that it can be welded, and then we'll weld this on. So that's just on the inside of this tube. So there's no sugaring from the back purge. So that's sugaring is basically just this like really slaggy looking oxidization that happens when you don't back purge stainless. So pretty satisfied with that. The last piece of the puzzle is just this separator, because when I heated it, it distorted inwards a little bit, so this is just going to hold it out. 4 little tacks on there, and then we'll just finish that for today, fit it tomorrow. Okay, this is the full length, so I just mounted this, and yeah, we're ready to put it on the truck, but probably won't take the video until tomorrow in the daylight. Well, the weather's been pretty shocking lately, and we've finally had a break, so I'm gonna start up the Hilux now and see what it sounds like. So it hasn't been started in a few days, so we'll just try and get it going right now. About 50 kilometers at the moment. I think it might be about 25 or 35 miles an hour, maybe somewhere around there. So we're just going to do a little rev. That's what it sounds like when it's warmed up. I'm pretty happy with what it sounds like. Ideally, I would like it to be slightly a bit quieter so that when I come home late at night, it doesn't wake up the whole neighborhood. But you know, you can always put another muffler or whatever in the pipe, but it's essentially a straight pipe. So it's just got that cherry bomb sitting like not far off the front of the exhaust headers. But anyways, that's all I've got for today. I'll just keep trying to upload more videos as I can. I'm just a little bit busy and I've got my major project coming up soon. But anyways, let me know in the comments what kind of exhaust system you have in your truck or your car. Yeah, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Cheers, bye.